Debate on the floor of the House when we were shut out of the opportunity to offer a common sense, appropriate, responsible energy plan. I offered a unanimous consent request that said that 2.3 to 2.7 million Americans will lose their jobs annually because of the bill that was about to be voted upon if it were to pass and become law. And I asked for a moment of silence from the House of Representatives in honor of those folks who would lose their jobs. Of course, the Democrats objected. Because the fact of the matter is, their whole issue is power, it's not freedom. You know those old Western movies when the barn would begin burning down? And you'd see it on the horizon out there, and everybody would gather their wagons and their pails, and they'd run and they'd ride to get the barn as fast as they could so that the whole community came together to stop the barn from burning down. That's where we are right now in this nation. The barn is burning down, and it's time for everybody to come together and stop the nation from burning down. The bill that passed yesterday is nothing but a front on freedom at a time when the unemployment rate in this nation is 9.4%, when the federal government has spent $2 trillion over the past 6 months throwing it out the door and not increased the economic vitality of this nation one iota. What does the administration and Nancy Pelosi and her minions come up with yesterday? But a national energy tax that'll destroy jobs, destroy the economy, and not help the environment one single bit. Phenomenal when you think about it. So the silver lining in all of this, and I know that you all are asking who those 8 folks were on the Republican side that voted for it. The bill passed 219 to 212. The silver lining in all of this is that in 5 hours yesterday, you all and men and women across this nation raised your voices and shut down the switchboard at the House of Representatives so that no calls could get through objecting to what was going on. Now, if that's what we can do in 4 hours, imagine what we can do in 16 months. And that's what we've got to do. So the enthusiasm that came out of the effort yesterday, and the enthusiasm that's going on the Patriot Tea Parties and all of the activity across this land is what we need to corral and invigorate. People will rise up in November 2010 and say we need some checks and balances in Washington, and we want to make certain that the House of Representatives is back in Republican control. That's what will happen in 2010. Let me just close by challenging you. Many of you have been wonderfully supportive of our efforts, and I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. This is a pivotal cycle in Georgia political history. The 2010 election will be remarkably important. It is imperative that we elect folks up from the top of the ballot all the way down that want to defend liberty and want to defend freedom and economic vitality. In this area, there are many good folks who are running, and when the primaries are done, it's time to support those good folks and make certain that they move on and prevail in the general election. But you and I are blessed to live in an area where there's a lot of Republican thought. But you have contacts and friends and relatives all across this land in districts where there isn't necessarily that kind of enthusiasm. So I want to challenge you right now to begin every single day to expand your lists and expand your communication across this land. Pick out a district or two where we've got opportunities, and if you don't know where they are, let us know. We'll be happy to share with you. Pick out a district or two where you can have a direct effect, either on the newspaper, on the radio, recruiting folks in communities that need to rise up and voice their concerns. Because as you well know, and many of you, I will give this quote until we take over the House, and that comes from Samuel Adams, one of our founders, who said, "It doesn't take a majority to prevail, but an irate and tireless minority keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. That's what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. God bless you.